Hey everyone, it's Illum Astrology. I wanted to talk about planets in the eighth house or difficult aspects with Pluto in the birth chart. Pluto is known as the invisible god of Hades, and he rules over the eighth house of secrets and hidden things, along with trauma, suppressed emotions, things we'd rather not talk about to just anyone and everyone. The things we do in the dark, the things that happen in the dark. It's a heavy duty house. It also has everything to do with sex, not necessarily love, but sex and power, and the power of sex and the power of money. Pluto's the god of wealth. He brings about intense experiences. Pluto, as far as I've researched, is a icy planet with icy volcanoes. And to me, that represents suppressed emotions, a cool, calm exterior, but a lot going on underneath. So in my opinion, personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, which represent the different aspects of the personality, when they are placed in the eighth house, which also has to do with past life, family karma, and all sorts of, hidden things. So when you have your luminaries or your personal planets, part of your personality or a psyche in the eighth house, chances are that your early childhood was unstable, dramatic, traumatizing even in some cases, intense, hidden secrets, hidden family affairs, all sorts of just stuff that they're just possibilities. I'm not saying all of them happen, but the eighth house is a darker house that represents our shadow side and the shadow side of humans and hidden things. So Pluto is a very powerful little asteroid or whatever they call him these days, but he was a planet and he does have a lot of power. And all the planets are both positive and negative, and all the houses have positive and negative sides, and it all is like money. It's not good or evil. It's the hands that the money is in. So depending upon your perception and how you perceive things and whether or not you learned your lessons through your early childhood, or you became bitter and angry or carried on the traits of the eighth house, death, rebirth, struggle, sex, drama, illness, abuse, just unstable situations, chaos even. Not to be so extreme, because sometimes everybody's chaos is at different degrees, but unstable situations, things that made you investigate or research or seek for answers to things. And people with planets in the eighth house have strong ability to be great investigators, researchers, analyzers, doctors, surgeons, really anything actually that they get behind, that they are interested in, because they have a focus to be able to research and investigate and spend the time to find the answers that they seek. But the eighth house is also about fear, because it's considered, Pluto, the god of hell, is about fear, about power, about all these things, all of our carnal desires, and the dangers of them, and the repercussions of them, more so to speak, because there are consequences to our actions, and that's what astrology is all about. Is that it shows us when our karma is going to come, and Pluto by transit uses your personal power against you if you've misused it, and or brings it out of you and shows it to you. Pluto also exposes He likes to uncover secrets, hidden things, expose people. So by transit, he does that as well. So although you're given a ton of power, it's all on how you use this personal power is what depicts what the result is going to be by a Pluto transit to any of your planets. Now, people that have difficult aspects with Pluto to their planets have seen this power, this use of power against them, or this use of power to manipulate them, or this use of power, used incorrectly in difficult aspect. And even some people with their planets in the 8th house. And so they either decide to protect themselves and develop defense mechanisms and research people because they don't trust people, and to investigate everything and to think the worst. Or they use it to, for the benefit of mankind, to research, technology, advancement, whatever. It all depends on what you're using, what lens you're viewing it through, and whether or not you are operating at the Scorpion level or the Phoenix level when it comes to Pluto and the 8th house. And the Phoenix level realizes that death and rebirth go hand in hand, and that death is a process of life, and that without death we wouldn't appreciate anything. And so once you realize that you are going to die and that death is a reality, you can start to see things from a higher level and not be so focused on the mundane and the things that are just so much energy is going into that are of no benefit to you or others, or mainly yourself. Now, obsession is ruled by Pluto because of the intense emotions. So you could be obsessive if you have planets in the 8th house. You can have a lot of fears, anxieties. You could have poltergeist experiences in some cases. You could have to deal with somebody that's mentally unstable. You maybe feel like, you strongly want to bond with another but have a great difficulty trusting. Sex is very important to you. It makes you feel stronger. But you can be plagued with a lot of fears, anxieties, worries, and things that will break down your physical body if you don't take enough relaxation and take time out to love yourself a little bit and to just let go of things. It's not easy because of the fact that, we all have our different lens in which we view life through. And that's by our ascendant as well. Besides where our planets are placed in our chart. So some people had this whole, life in which everything was great and they never saw anything bad, and they look at life through a different perspective. And then you have the Scorpios, the 8th house people, Pluto people who have seen the other side and come out 2 different ways as a result, or over time through evolution and experience, or by transit. But people with planets in the 8th house or hard Pluto or difficult Pluto aspects, and even the good Pluto aspects are deep. They're not into superficiality. They like to seek for truths. They want to know the truth. They don't like things, not knowing things. That's their greatest fear. They usually have a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, a lot of worries. And it would just greatly benefit all of them to focus on mind, body, and soul connection, and to realize that you were given a lot of power in which you can do some amazing things with, but you got to focus and direct that energy in the right direction, in a positive direction, towards creating rather than destroying. Because Pluto's extremes, out of the destruction, the volcanic ashes, islands are grown. It's like something grows out of it. But you can prevent a lot of the difficulty that comes with it by letting go, learning to let go, because Pluto's about death and rebirth and about letting go. Like, there's nothing that we can control. There are things that are out of our control. The only thing that we can control is our mind, our actions, and the things we do. So in knowing that and learning to let go, you let go of so much worry and all that stuff that's holding you back and focusing you on all the wrong areas and in things that are really of not that big importance. Or there's other things that are of big importance. Love is very important. Relationships are very important for those with planets in the 8th house. And they like commitment, but can struggle with power trips, power struggles, worry, fears, and untrusting, to where it causes or creates issues within relationships. But this is not always the case at all. Anyway, I hope that you guys found this helpful with regards to Pluto, planets in the 8th house in the birth chart, along with even what Pluto does by transit, and anybody with difficult aspects with Pluto in their own birth chart. So thank you so much for joining me, and until next time.